What's up, whiskey fans, and welcome back to another video. Today we are testing, does the water quality change the flavor of the whiskey? So let's cue the intro and let's get into this wild experiment. Folks, welcome back to another video. Now, this is always a question people have for me at whiskey events, or people ask me in passing. And just last week I was at a whiskey event where I don't want to say arguing, but the person I was speaking to gave me a stern sort of speech and said that the quality of water changes the way whiskey tastes. Now, as much as I've never experienced that, although I don't go around drinking my whiskey with Fiji water, I thought, hey, you know what? Let's give it a test. Let's do a side-by-side comparison. So here we are today. Now, for this challenge, we are using a local whiskey. It is Halden. This is their single barrel, single malt, single cask, single malt whiskey. This is a 500ml bottle at 51% ABV. So quite strong. And Halden makes some amazing products, and they are situated in Paris. So if you feel like a day out, go and visit Peter. He makes some amazing stuff and you won't regret that tour. But let's get back to this experiment. So to make it fair, I have brand new pipettes with me. We're going to measure out everything exactly so that there are no sort of what do we call it, like biases. So I think in each glass we are going to put 1.5 ml. That's too little. Let's put some more. Okay, so that will be 3.5 ml of whiskey. That's still too little. These things are tiny, man. Okay, there's another 2.5. So that's 5. That's 6.5 ml. Another 3 ml. This is going to take forever. We're just going to pour. Hopefully we'll get the glasses exactly the same. Okay. That looks okay. But I think for the testing, we are going to put equal amounts of water. So let's try and fill this up as much as we possibly can. That is 2 ml of water. And let's add another 2 ml of water. That is 4 ml of what we like to call government juice or tap water. And here is the real stuff, Fiji water. For those of you who don't know what Fiji water is, it's, I guess, water from Fiji, I guess. But it's 60 Rand a bottle, which is about $3, give or take, maybe a little bit more. So it is quite, it is quite expensive water. Okay, here we are. Let's give this little experiment I like to nose it. That's quite interesting. Is that the tap water, room temperature, by the way, room temperature tap water, gives a little bit more nose on the whiskey. There's a little bit more flavor punch in there, but it's tasting. So tap water first. It's soft, smooth, nice. Now of a $4 or 60 Rand water. Ah, there's a tricky one. I don't think it makes any difference. I actually think that the tap water is slightly bit better. I don't know why. You get those nice aromas coming through, a nice warm finish at the end. And this one kind of like brightens up your palate a little bit. This one is very softer than this one, but it doesn't change the flavor. I think it just makes the whiskey a little bit more, how can I put it, a little bit more easily palatable, easier, I don't know, I can't get the word. No, I'm going to stick with my original. I prefer the tap water. The tap water keeps that flavor of the whiskey right there. I think the sort of Fiji water or the expensive water just really like tones down the whiskey a little bit. It doesn't change the flavor profile. Both flavors are exactly the same. There is no difference between the flavors. There is a difference in texture. That's the word I'm looking for. There is a difference in texture. This obviously has the flavor, the bright boldness, normal tap water, government juice as we call it here in South Africa. The Fiji water just softens that texture a little bit, and to be honest with you, I don't really like it. Like I said, I think if you were trying to get into whiskey, this is a 51% ABV whiskey, so it kind of like tones it down a little bit, whereas the tap water, you can taste everything in that whiskey. So I'm going to say that tap water for me is the clear winner, and not from a flavor profile, but from a texture point of view. It definitely does change the texture of the whiskey, without a doubt, hands down. So yeah, but I'm going to stick with normal tap water. I'm not going to go for this expensive water, because like I said, I've lost a lot of characteristics from this to that. But hey, if you guys think of a different water that I could try this experiment again on, please do hit the comments below. I'd love to hear from you, and I'd love to hear your thoughts if you have done this experiment before. But folks, thank you very much for watching. It has been an absolute pleasure bringing you this little experiment. But until next time, cheers for now.